Recognizing the wounded version of yourself. Everyone experiences moments in life when they feel broken, defeated, or misunderstood. The version of yourself that endured failure, heartbreak, or disappointment was real and human. That wounded you was vulnerable, struggling to navigate challenges and setbacks that sometimes felt insurmountable. Those who knew you during that time saw only the pain and weakness. They saw a side of you that was unpolished, uncertain, or dependent on circumstances beyond your control. Recognizing this wounded version of yourself is not about dwelling in shame or regret. It is about acknowledging the past honestly and using it as a foundation for the powerful comeback that is about to unfold. Understanding your wounded self begins with reflection. Take a moment to remember the times when you felt powerless or misunderstood. Maybe it was a relationship that ended painfully, a goal that slipped through your fingers, or a season when life seemed overwhelmingly difficult. These moments, though challenging, were shaping your resilience. They taught you lessons that comfort and success alone could never provide. The wounded you learned endurance, patience, and perseverance in ways that your future self will now use as strength. Recognizing your past struggles allows you to honor your journey rather than dismiss it, and creates a clear contrast with the empowered version of yourself that is emerging. Acknowledging the wounded version of yourself also helps you understand the perceptions of others. People who only knew you during your difficult times may have formed an incomplete picture of your potential. They saw your struggles and assumed they defined you. They may have doubted your abilities, underestimated your value, or written you off entirely. However, those perceptions were based on a snapshot of your life, not your full story. Recognizing this gives you clarity and motivation. It reminds you that your past does not determine your future, and that your comeback will be so profound, it will shatter outdated assumptions and surprise those who underestimated you. Moreover, recognizing your wounded self is a step towards self-compassion. Many people carry guilt or embarrassment about their past weaknesses, but these feelings are unnecessary. Your struggles were part of your growth, and your vulnerability was part of being human. By accepting and forgiving your past, you free yourself from the emotional weight that can hold you back. Self-compassion allows you to move forward with confidence, knowing that the challenges you endured were preparing you for a life of strength, wisdom, and resilience. Finally, understanding the wounded version of yourself sets the stage for transformation. Every tear, every setback, and every moment of doubt was a building block for your comeback. The contrast between your past vulnerability and the future strength you are cultivating is what will make your return so remarkable. Recognizing the wounded you is not about clinging to the past. It is about honoring it, learning from it, and using it as fuel to rise. The journey from vulnerability to power begins with this awareness, and it is the first essential step in the comeback that will astonish those who only knew the wounded version of you. Understanding the power of transformation. A true comeback is not about returning to your previous state. It is about evolving into a stronger, wiser, and unstoppable version of yourself. Transformation is the core of any comeback, and it begins when you take the pain, struggles, and setbacks from your past and use them as fuel for growth. The wounded version of you was necessary because it prepared you for this moment. Every challenge, every failure, and every moment of doubt has been quietly building resilience, sharpening your focus, and teaching lessons that no success alone could provide. Transformation is about taking all of these experiences and turning them into a foundation for a future that exceeds your past. The power of transformation lies in its subtlety. While others may not notice your growth in the beginning, your transformation is happening quietly within. You are developing the skills, mindset, and emotional strength that will eventually define your comeback. This is why those who only knew the wounded version of you will be shocked. They will not recognize the patience, discipline, and inner power you have been cultivating. Transformation does not occur overnight. It is built through consistent effort, self-reflection, and a commitment to becoming your best self. The difference between those who succeed and those who remain stagnant is their willingness to embrace this process. Transformation also requires a shift in mindset. The wounded version of yourself may have been focused on what was lost or what went wrong, but the transformed version focuses on possibilities, opportunities, and personal power. You learn to see challenges as stepping stones rather than obstacles, and failures as lessons rather than permanent defeats. Your focus moves from limitations to potential, from fear to courage, and from doubt to confidence. This mindset is the engine behind your comeback. It fuels your actions and amplifies the results of every effort you make. Another essential aspect of transformation is emotional mastery. The wounded you may have been ruled by fear, insecurity, or resentment. Transformation allows you to take control of your emotions and respond with clarity, confidence, and purpose. You learn to harness your energy, focus on your goals, and approach life from a place of strength. By mastering your emotional state, you ensure that your comeback is not just impressive externally, but deeply grounded internally. This inner strength is what terrifies those who only knew your vulnerable side, because it is undeniable and unshakable. Finally, transformation is a visible shift in your life, but it starts invisibly within. Every action you take, every decision you make, and every thought you nurture contributes to the version of yourself that is rising stronger than before. When you embrace the power of transformation, you understand that your comeback is inevitable. It is the natural result of your growth, your perseverance, and your unwavering commitment to becoming your best self. The people who only knew the wounded you will be stunned, not because of what you achieve, but because of the undeniable power, confidence, and resilience that now define your presence. Transformation is your secret weapon. It ensures that your comeback will not only happen, but will leave a lasting impact. Taking action and claiming your comeback. A comeback is not built on wishes or intentions alone. It is created through consistent, deliberate action. Once you recognize your wounded self and embrace the power of transformation, the next step is to take control and claim your comeback. This requires more than motivation. It requires discipline, focus, and unwavering commitment. Every action you take, no matter how small, brings you closer to the version of yourself that is unstoppable, confident, and powerful. The people who only knew your vulnerable side will be shocked because they will see a person who has not only healed but has risen to a level they could never have imagined. Taking action begins with clarity. Identify the goals, habits, and changes necessary to move forward. What skills do you need to develop? What mindset must you adopt? What behaviors must you reinforce daily? Clarity allows you to focus your energy on what truly matters. Without direction, even the most motivated person can feel lost or overwhelmed. Break down your comeback into manageable steps, focusing on one area at a time. Each step, each achievement compounds over time, creating momentum that propels you forward. Small, consistent actions are the building blocks of monumental change. Another key to claiming your comeback is accountability. You must take responsibility for your life, your choices, and your results. No longer can you blame circumstances, people, or past failures. Your comeback depends on your willingness to act decisively and consistently, regardless of external conditions. This accountability is empowering because it shifts control back into your hands. You become the architect of your life, designing it deliberately and purposefully. The stronger your commitment, the faster and more profound your transformation will be. Focus and discipline are equally crucial. The path to a powerful comeback is rarely smooth. Challenges, distractions, and doubts will appear, and only those who stay disciplined and maintain focus will succeed. This means consistently taking actions aligned with your goals, even when you feel tired, discouraged, or uncertain. It means saying no to behaviors, habits, and influences that no longer serve your growth. Your comeback is forged through consistent effort, persistence, and the refusal to settle for mediocrity. Finally, understand the impact of your actions on others. Your comeback is not about revenge. It is about showing up fully for yourself and living a life of strength, resilience, and success. Those who only knew the wounded you will be intimidated or astonished because they will witness the results of your consistent effort and personal transformation. Your actions speak louder than words, and your life becomes proof of your growth, resilience, and determination. By taking control, staying focused, and consistently acting toward your goals, you claim the comeback that not only transforms your life, but commands respect and admiration from everyone around you. Embracing the fear you inspire. The final part of your comeback journey is embracing the impact you now have on others. Those who only knew the wounded version of you will be stunned, intimidated, or even fearful, not because you intended to instill fear, but because they cannot comprehend the strength, resilience, and growth you have achieved. This fear is a reflection of your transformation, a visible sign that you have risen far beyond the limitations they once associated with you. Embracing this reaction is not about ego or revenge. It is about understanding that your success and empowerment naturally disrupt the expectations of those who underestimated. Your comeback is proof of what happens when determination, focus, and resilience are applied consistently. The people around you may struggle to recognize the effort and patience behind your growth. They only saw the wounded you, a version of yourself shaped by vulnerability and struggle. Now they are confronted with the person you have become, a person who has not only survived adversity, but has used it as fuel to rise stronger, wiser, and more capable than ever before. This shift is both powerful and intimidating because it challenges the perceptions they held of you and reminds them that human potential cannot be defined by past struggles. Embracing this fear also requires self-assurance and confidence. Understand that the energy you are projecting is natural and deserved. You have worked diligently on your mindset, your habits, and your personal growth. You have mastered your emotions, cultivated resilience, and aligned your actions with your highest goals. The fact that others may feel intimidated is not your responsibility to fix. It is a reflection of your undeniable progress. When you fully accept your own transformation, external reactions no longer control your emotions or define your self-worth. Furthermore, your comeback carries a powerful message for yourself and for others. It shows that adversity does not define you, it strengthens you. Every challenge you faced, every setback you endured, and every moment of doubt has been transformed into power, clarity, and momentum. By living as your best self, you not only achieve your personal goals, but also inspire others to recognize their own potential. Your presence becomes proof that a life of resilience, purpose, and success is possible, even after hardship. Finally, embracing the fear you inspire is about stepping fully into your authentic power. Walk with confidence, act with clarity, and live in alignment with the values and vision you have cultivated. Let your life serve as the ultimate statement of transformation. The wounded version of you was real, but it no longer defines your story. The comeback you have created is a living testament to your strength, perseverance, and courage. Those who only knew your vulnerability will witness your rise, and their astonishment is simply a reminder of how far you have come. Stand tall, embrace your power, and let the life you live be louder than any doubt, criticism, or disbelief. Your comeback is complete, undeniable, and truly extraordinary.